CrowdStrike is looking really good at the moment. In terms of percentages, it's up about 8% in the last week, 10% in the last month, and about 20% year to date. So this could be a great opportunity. Question is, you may be thinking, have you missed the boat with CrowdStrike after its recent run? But I don't think so. I think this stock has got a lot more to give. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the technicals and what the trend is doing and what sort of opportunity this stock might present for you as an investor. Let's take a look. So firstly, on my TradingView platform, both the technicals and the analyst ratings are both a buy or a strong buy. And you can see clearly, looking at the chart, why that is. CrowdStrike is currently in a really nice long-term uptrend with price action repeatedly respecting the trend line. In January 2023, you can see it bounced off here. In August 24, it came back to test again and pushed off. And most recently, it came close in April 2025 with price action falling during March, but buyers coming in, seeing value with CrowdStrike and forming a strong reversal bar in April. Now, of course, we've got about 5 days of April left, but it's looking as if April will be a strong green up bar for CrowdStrike, suggesting that the price is going to push up further. So firstly, let's look at some key price levels for CrowdStrike to understand exactly where the price has been, where it is right now, and where it could go in the future. So the first one I've marked up here is $63.50, which is CrowdStrike's original float price from back in June 2019. Second level I've marked up here is around $31, which is the all-time low, and this corresponds to the price trough back in March 2020. And moving up the chart, we can see the $100 level is also a key level for CrowdStrike. After listing, it reached a peak in August 2019 at around $100. And then in January 2023, when price pulled back to the trend line, it also reached around about $9,900. So we'll mark that up as well. Next level I marked up is the $300 level, which corresponds to the peak in November 2021. And you can see that price action repeatedly tried to break through this key level over a few months, August, September, October, and November, before price reversed back into this key level of $100. So 300 is definitely something to be mindful of. And you can see more recently, the price action did come back to test this key level in April 2024. And in the current month of April 2025, we can see that price came back during March, hit that $300 level, found support, and buyers came back in. So currently, we can see over the last 2 months, that $300 level is a key level for CrowdStrike. And the last level I've marked up is the current all-time high for CrowdStrike, which is around $455. And this was formed in the peak in February this year. So right now, that is the current all-time high for CrowdStrike and may offer some resistance in the future. So right now, CrowdStrike is in a long-term uptrend. And you can see on the chart, I've marked up a trend line moving up on the bottom and also a trend line on the top, just to indicate there is a clear channel emerging for CrowdStrike long term. And we can see the price action long term does respect the upper and lower limits of this emerging channel. And it can help us to understand the price direction or future potential of CrowdStrike as time unfolds. Now, of course, we've only got around about 5 years of data, so it's not a huge amount, but I think it's enough to try and draw a reasonable and logical picture of where CrowdStrike will go in the future. So we can see on screen, I've marked up this green box here, which indicates a massive bull run that CrowdStrike had coming out of the COVID-19 low around about March 2020. So in that time, it gained a whopping 845% up to the peak in October 2021. So clearly, when CrowdStrike moves, it can move really fast and aggressively. Now, after that massive run into the peak in November 2021, CrowdStrike did have a significant pullback over the next sort of 12 months. And it fell around about 70% into the low in January 2023. After that fall of 70% into the low of February 2023, CrowdStrike took on another bull run and accelerated upwards, gaining just under 300% in around 12 months. So it's clear from this price action that CrowdStrike can move really well when it wants to, and it does respect the trend. Now, the pullback in July 2024 was around 50%, which is always a strong level for any stock. And typically when stocks pull back to that 50% level and find support, especially the trend line, there's a real high probability that they're going to go on to extend 100%. So based on the CrowdStrike chart right now, it does look as if price is moving up in 2025, and there's lots of potential. For example, if we look at the move back out of the COVID low, there was a huge gain of around 800%. Now, it's unlikely that CrowdStrike will repeat that in 2025, but even if it gets 25% of that gain and moves up towards the upper channel, there's a huge potential on offer here for both traders and investors. So the first level of resistance is obviously the current all-time high, which is 456. So once CrowdStrike breaks through that, potentially over the next few months, it's in blue sky. And there is high probability that price is going to keep moving up. So add this to your watch list and watch closely. Thanks for watching.